You do not need to be educated. You do not need a bunch of schooling. You do not need a bunch of classes. And you don't need to be particularly intelligent to be persistent, to really follow through and make things come true. We're finishing, I think this is probably the last 2 days we're going to be on Napoleon Hill's chapter 9, Persistence from Think and Grow Rich. How to develop persistence. We're on that section. We have a few videos. I think this is video 5 in this series. How to develop persistence. We are just going to dive in and read a little bit more. There are 4 simple steps which lead to the habit of persistence. They call for no great amount of intelligence, no particular amount of education, and but little time or effort. The necessary steps are 1. A definite purpose backed by burning desire for its fulfillment. 2. A definite plan expressed in continuous action. 3. A mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences, including negative suggestions of relatives, friends, and acquaintances. 4. A friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage one of the following, or one to follow through with both plan and purpose. Those are the simple 4 steps. Have a definite purpose backed by a burning desire, which means pick something. What do you want to do? What's something you really want? And do not put parameters on it, not what you think you can get. What do you truly want? Pick one thing and write it down. That is what you want. Get emotionally involved with it. Put logs on the fire, so to speak. Logs on the emotional fire to get that burning desire going. Get that burning desire backed behind this thing you want. Number 2, just have a plan. Make a decision. We've talked a lot about decision. Make a decision expressed in continuous action. So make a decision for the next month, for the next 3 months, for the next 6 months, for the next year, to follow through with continuous action, regardless of how you feel or regardless of what's happening on the outside world. Keep getting emotionally involved with your burning desire for what you want and just take continuous action with a plan that you set forward. Don't make the plan too complicated. I think complication is the enemy of completion to anything. Don't make it complicated. There's that acronym KISS, K-I-S-S, keep it simple, stupid. Let's keep it simple. Number 3, this is one of the most important. Keep a mind tightly closed. Keep your mind closed off against all negative and discouraging influences, including negative suggestions of relatives, friends, and acquaintances. Everybody has their 2 cents. When you have a dream or a goal and you want to go after it, just be ready to be met with resistance and other people's projecting their limitations, their limiting beliefs about themselves, or how your dream or goal is making them feel uncomfortable. That's what they're going to throw at you. So before moving forward, just be careful of who you share it with. And that goes into number 4, a friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage one to follow through with both plan and purpose. Surround yourself with like-minded people who cheerlead you, who don't question you. Of course, if you're going to do something dangerous, like let's not be ridiculous, but most of our dreams aren't, let's be honest. Surround yourself with like-minded people, masterminding. Find just one person who you meet with once a week. You talk about your wins, your goals, how your progress is going, and ask for feedback. Ask for encouragement. Ask for ideas. Meditate. Ask your higher self. There's a great exercise I just did in a group we were at this morning. It's very Neville Goddard-like. It's close your eyes and just kind of get in tune with your breath and just quiet your mind and think about something you really want to accomplish. See your future self. See yourself, the person, the version of you that exists in time and space that already has achieved living the reality of that goal. And ask that future self what it is that you need to do to get there, to reach that reality. What advice would that future self give you? Mine this morning said consistency. Just show up and do a video, no matter what. I just reached 500 followers on my YouTube channel and 1,000. I just hit over 1,000 on my TikTok. And I think I'm at 1,300 on Instagram, but all organic, just day by day by day. I think it's been 2 years now. Just organic, just putting out stuff on my own, not promoting. I mean, of course, I'm upping my game on that kind of stuff, but kind of getting into the world of people who buy subscribers and, take shortcuts. It's like, wow, it's really humbling Each follower, each person organically coming one by one. It's really humbling and it just feels really good. So just consistently putting out video. That's what my higher self told me. So these 4 steps are essential to success in all walks of life. The entire purpose of the 13 principles in this philosophy is to enable one to take these 4 steps as a matter of habit. Make these steps a habit. Focusing on what you want, getting emotionally involved with it, shutting out all the outside noise, all the criticism, surrounding yourself with like-minded people, and continuously taking action on your plan. These are the steps by which one may control one's economic destiny. They are the steps that lead to freedom and independence of thought. They lead the way to power, fame, and worldly recognition. They are the steps that lead to riches in small or great quantities. They are the 4 steps which guarantee favorable breaks. They are the steps that convert dreams into physical realities. They lead also to the mastery of fear, discouragement, and indifference. There is a magnetic reward for all who learn to take these 4 steps. It is the privilege of writing one's own ticket and of making life yield whatever price is asked. I have no way of knowing the facts, but I venture to conjecture that Miss Wallis Simpson, great love for a man was not accidental. So Miss Wallis Simpson, this was a real woman who lived back, I think, in the 20s or 30s. So let's read about her. He's convinced that her great love for a man was not accidental, nor the result of favorable breaks alone. There was a burning desire and careful searching at every step of the way. Her first duty was to love. What is the greatest thing on earth? The master called it love, not man-made rules, criticism, bitterness, slander, or political marriages, but love. She knew what she wanted, not after she met the Prince of Wales, but long before that. Twice, when she had failed to find it, she had the courage to continue her search. This is a really interesting story. You should Google Wallis Simpson and the Prince of Wales. But so twice she had failed, but she continued her search. I love this quote, William Shakespeare. To thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. So to your own self be true, and it will follow as the night the day. You cannot then be false. You can't lie. You can't put on a front to anybody. You will be your true self. So to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Her rise from obscurity was of the slow, progressive, persistent order, but it was sure. She triumphed over unbelievably long odds, and no matter who you are or what you may think of Wallis Simpson or the king who gave up his crown for her love, she is an astounding example of applied persistence, an instructor on the rules of self-determination from whom the entire world might profitably take lessons. When you think of Wallis Simpson, think of one who knew what she wanted and shook the greatest empire on earth to get it. There are so many similarities between this story and I think Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. It's really fascinating. When you think of Wallis Simpson, think of one who knew what she wanted and shook the greatest empire on earth to get it. Women who complain that this is a man's world, that women do not have an equal chance to win, owe it to themselves to study carefully the life of this unusual woman who, at an age when most women would consider old, captured the affections of the most desirable bachelor in the entire world. And what of King Edward? What lesson may we learn from his part in the world's greatest drama of recent times? Did he pay too high a price for the affections of the woman of his choice? Surely no one but he can give the correct answer. The rest of us can only conjecture. This much we know. The king came into the world without his own consent. He was born to great riches without requesting them. He was persistently sought in marriage. Politicians and statesmen throughout Europe tossed dowagers and princesses at his feet. Because he was the firstborn of his parents, he inherited the crown, which he did not seek and perhaps did not desire. For more than 40 years, he was not a free agent, could not live the life in his own way, had but little privacy, and finally assumed duties inflicted upon him when he had ascended the throne. Some will say, With all these blessings, King Edward should have found peace of mind, contentment, and joy of living. He should have just been happy with his birth of royalty and just taken the crown and dealt with all of the, intrusions on his life, lack of privacy, and arranged marriage, basically. The truth is that lack of all the privileges of a crown, all the money, the fame, and the power inherited by King Edward, there was an emptiness which could be filled only by love. His greatest desire was for love. Long before he met Wallis Simpson, he doubtless felt this great universal emotion tugging at the strings of his heart, beating upon the door of his soul, and crying out for expression. How poetic, Napoleon. And when he met a kind-hearted spirit crying out for the same holy privilege of expression, he recognized it, and without fear or apology opened his heart and bade it enter. All the scandal mongers in the world cannot destroy the beauty of this international drama, through which two people found love and had the courage to face open criticism, renounce all else to give it holy expression. King Edward's decision to give up the crown for the world's most powerful empire, for the privilege of going the remainder of the way through his life with a woman of his choice, was a decision and required courage. The decision had a price, but who has the right to say the price was too great? Surely not he who said, "He among you who is without sin, let him cast the first stone." We can never judge or truly judge and just make assumptions about other people's decisions. Was it worth it? Was it worth him giving up the crown for this woman's love? Was it all worth it? Only he can say. It's none of our business. As a suggestion to any evil-minded person who chooses to find fault with the Duke of Windsor, because his desire was for love and for openly declaring his love for Wallis Simpson and giving up his throne for her, let it be remembered that the open declaration was not essential. He didn't have to do it. He could have kept her quiet. He could have followed the custom of clandestine liaison, which has prevailed in Europe for centuries, without giving up either his throne or the woman of his choice, and there would have been no complaint from either church or laity. But this unusual man was built of sterner stuff. His love was clean, it was deep and sincere, it represented the one thing which above all else he truly desired. Therefore, he took what he wanted and paid the price demanded. He wanted to live his life. He didn't want to live hiding or in secrecy. He wanted to declare to the world, "This is the woman I love, and I'm willing to give up the crown for it." I mean, this is just a true story in recent times, in the past 100 years. If Europe had been blessed with more rulers with the human heart and the traits of honesty of ex-King Edward for the past century, that unfortunate hemisphere, now seething with greed, hate, lust, political connivance, and threats of war, would have a different and better story to tell. A story in which love and not hate would rule. In the words of Stuart Austin Weir, we raise our cup up and drink this toast to ex-King Edward and Wallis Simpson. Blessed is the man who has come to know that our muted thoughts are our sweetest thoughts. Blessed is the man who, from the blackest depths, can see the luminous figures of love, and sing, and singing say, "Sweeter far than uttered lays are the thoughts I have of you." What a beautiful little poem. In these words would we pay tribute to the two people who, more than all others of modern times, have been the victims of criticism and recipients of abuse because they found life's greatest treasure and claimed it. We see this 24/7 in people in public domains, big stages, celebrities mostly, singers, athletes, actors, presidential candidates, people in politics, anybody with a big stage, with a big presence. They are victims of criticism. I mean, are they victims? Well, they chose that. So hopefully they don't act like it, because, hello, when you step out, you're just free range. But people that attack them, people that criticize them, people that judge them, it's like, for what? They don't know them. They don't know the ins and outs in their life. They're just armchair critics who sit in the stands, eating popcorn in the nosebleeds, and judge the people that are out in the arena. Most of the world will applaud the Duke of Windsor and Wallace Simpson because of their persistence in searching until they found life's greatest reward. All of us can profit by following their example in our own search for that which we demand of life. That goes into these 4 steps. We must follow these 4 steps, being persistent in what we want to do. If we want to live the life that we want, we can all profit from these examples of people going for what they want in our own search, making those demands of life, saying, you know what, this is what I want. I'm not going to stop till I get it for the good of myself and everyone else. What mystical power gives to us of persistence the capacity to master our difficulties, to get through these hard times? We'll continue this tomorrow. And it should be the last reading. We just have a couple pages. It's a really great story about, it's The Last Prophet. It was an essay that was written in the Herald Tribune back about 100 years ago. What a wonderful book. We'll bookmark this. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Chapter 9, Persistence. We are keeping on, keeping on. So we added this to the playlist today, and we'll continue it tomorrow. Do you have persistence? Are you following those 4 steps? Burning desire. Have a purpose. What do you want? Get emotionally involved with it. Have a plan. Just make a plan and consistently follow it. Shut out everything. Don't listen to what anybody says. And then surround yourself with like-minded people. Just follow those 4 steps, and that will build. That is persistence in a nutshell, those 4 steps. Happy New Year to you all. I'm so glad to be here, and I'm gonna, just continue making these wonderful videos. So I hope you enjoy it. Check out my new website, carlaelizondo.com. I can't wait to meet you. Have a wonderful week, wonderful day, wonderful month. See you next time.